I just sold my dream truck, my F-150 Raptor, and I bought this, a brand new 2025 F-150 Tremor, and today I'm gonna tell you why and all of the cool plans we've got for this thing. Spoiler alert, I wanna go camping. Let me explain. So welcome to my truck. Let me explain. So let me address the elephant in the room. I absolutely still love Ford Raptor. I've always loved Raptors, I will always love Raptors, and hopefully at some point in the future, I'll own another one. But right now, isn't the right time. Here's the deal. Over the past couple of years, you might have seen some of my in real life car racing videos. It started off pretty gradually when I took my Volkswagen Golf out to Calabogie, I drove around the circuit, and that's when the addiction began. If you fast forward though from the Volkswagen Golf a year to last year, I purchased not one, but two race cars. I bought my brand new Toyota GR86 that we immediately started modifying and turned into an awesome race car. The race car that won me the championship. And well, as you do, I had so much fun driving that thing halfway through the year, I bought a 1999 Mazda Miata. Why does this video feel more like a confession and therapy than it does a YouTube video explaining my new car purchase? Let's just move on again though. Move on again. And it's that little Miata that has caused all of these changes to happen, because that Mazda Miata is gonna take me to the next level of in real life racing. This year, my goal with in real life racing is to join my first regional racing series, and I'm gonna do it in that Mazda Miata. I've officially joined the Miata Canada Cup. Essentially, regional racing is the same as like your late night track racing stuff, except you go all around your region. And for me, that's Ontario. And this year, that little Miata and myself are gonna be entered into the Miata Canada Cup. It is a spec Miata racing series that goes all across Ontario with some of the fastest Miata drivers in the country. And some of these races are pretty far away, which means we need to drive there with a truck and trailer, the car itself, and a ton of spare parts and tires. Some of the races that we've got to drive to this year are pretty far away, and although the Raptor could do it, it's not really built for that. Just for comparison, this F-150 Tremor can tow about 13,000 pounds. My old Ford Raptor, about 8,000 pounds. I could probably throw not one, but two Miatas behind this thing before we started to even get close to those numbers. The Ford Raptor isn't really built with towing in mind. The Ford Raptor is a racing truck, essentially. It's designed to go desert running, rip it off-road as fast as possible, and it does it amazingly well. The downside of that, though, is when Ford was designing the Ford Raptor, they made the suspension very jelly, which means when you start to put anything relatively heavy on the back of these things, your suspension will squat, the front will lift up, and you're essentially doing a wheelie down the road. You can see what I mean in this clip here when I was towing my Golf. The back of the Raptor is slammed all the way down and the front is starting to lift off the ground, and it makes it really not too safe to drive. So although yes, the Raptor's got the horsepower and the torque figures to tow pretty much anything out there, the suspension isn't built for it, not to mention the brakes. Fun fact, actually, the brakes on a regular Ford F-150 are actually bigger than the brakes on an F-150 Raptor, because it's designed with towing in mind, and instead of the Raptor just being able to stop essentially itself, it's designed to stop 10,000 pounds, 15,000 pounds, 18,000 pounds sometimes. And the brakes need to be bigger, and the Raptor just doesn't have that. At the end of the day, this is going to be a much better vehicle to tow the race car around, not only comfortably, but also safely. And that was the main reason I picked this thing up. But it's not the only reason. Let's bring it full circle though. I think this Ford F-150 Tremor is the perfect truck for me. Ford actually offers this thing with two different engine options. You can go for a V6 or a V8. I went for the V6. I know there's gonna be people in the comments of this video going, Why? If you want to get the V8, you need to pay an extra $2,000 more. You get worse fuel economy, and not only that, you actually lose foot-pounds of torque. The EcoBoost V6 puts out 400 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. Compare that to the V8, which is 400 and 400. So not only are you getting less power essentially, but you're using more fuel to get less power, and you're paying more money for it. All to say I have a V8 engine, that doesn't make much sense to me. I'm sure it's cool and it sounds nice, but I'm gonna save the money if I'm honest. Also, take a look at this. This is actually my second brand new car ever. We've only got 468 kilometers. Hold on 1 second.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Much better, much better. But here's the other really cool thing about the Tremor. It's got all of the off-road capability that you kind of expect in a truck and more. Compared to a regular F-150, this comes with like a factory lift, you can call it, that lifts the entire truck up. So it's got 33-inch tires. It's got upgraded suspension compared to a regular F-150. It's got all of the bash plates down beneath, so you can drive it into all of the ice banks that you want. And the one I went for is actually the top of the line Ford Tremor, which is called the 402A. That's how Ford does their names internally. It's a bit nerdy. But this one also has a really cool front bumper on it that's like fully steel and modular. So you can actually attach like light bars to it and a big winch to it if you want, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Not to mention, it's got all of the luxuries that you want, like a heated seat, heated steering wheel, cooled seats, heated seats in the back. It has many speakers in it. There's actually a speaker above me here. Essentially what I'm getting at here is I think this is the perfect truck for me. A truck that combines all of the off-road capability that I need in a pickup truck with all of the awesome luxuries that allow you to just sit there and relax, especially on those long distance drives when you're driving long distances with a race car and a trailer strapped to the back. Now here's where things get even cooler, because when we go on the road with this truck, we're going on the road with this truck. This is gonna be my home away from home, my office on the road. And what I mean by that is I need to turn it into a proper home away from home. I wanna turn this into the ultimate Overlander / tow rig for towing the race car out to those events and then parking up with it and having a tent on the roof. So let me tell you about some of the plans that I have for this thing. So here's what I'm thinking for our first round of upgrades. Tell me if you agree. We obviously need some new wheels and tires. Did you really buy a new truck if you don't also go out and get new wheels and tires? No. I've got to say, I really like the whole white and black theme going on with this truck already, and I think I want to continue that by getting some black wheels for this, probably a little bit wider, maybe a little bit more offset so they stick out a little bit more, and so on. Basically what I'm saying is something that looks a little bit more aggressive, but still normal. Upgrade number 2 we're going to do for this thing is, because we're going to be turning it into an Overlander, we need a rooftop tent. However, if we go out and get a rooftop tent, we have nothing to attach it to. So upgrade number 2 is a bed rack or a chase rack. There's a whole bunch of companies out there that make all sorts of different bed racks and chase racks for these trucks. If I open up the back here, some of them kind of attach to the rails along here, some of them drill into the side of the truck, and so on. There's a whole bunch of different options and styles. But all this to say, we can go out and get a bed rack for this thing that then we can attach our rooftop tent to. So basically there's going to be something that goes up like here and then across and then down the other side, and then on top of that is going to be our rooftop tent. Ideally, I'm going to try to get something in a setup that works to keep everything below the roof line of the truck so we don't mess up the aerodynamics too much. I've been doing a whole bunch of research on this, and some people say that you can lose up to 2 miles per gallon by putting a rooftop tent on the roof of your truck. And 1 or 2 miles a gallon may not sound all that much, but when you're driving, it definitely adds up. So ideally we're going to keep it below. We'll see how possible that is though. And actually, if we come all the way around here, I can already show you our first upgrade that I've already purchased. Where'd it go? This is the battery that we're gonna be using to power ourselves when we're on the road. It's got 4 outlets on the front. It's actually got 4 USBs. It's got DC charging. And what's really cool is we can actually generate infinite power with this Tremor because it has a generator on board that puts out over 2,000 watts of power, which is really cool. But what makes it even cooler than that is we don't need to use that. Our little battery here actually has a solar input. So what that means is I can go out and get a solar panel, attach it to the roof of the rooftop tent, and then basically generate infinite power wherever we are in the world, which is just super, super cool. So all of my cameras, my microphones, my lights, any food stuff I end up taking that needs to stay cold, I can do all of it basically forever using that little battery, which is awesome. I think you can see what I mean when I say I am super, super excited to get into upgrading this thing, messing around with it, customizing it, and building it into the ultimate Overlander and tow rig and camp vehicle. It's gonna be so, so much fun. Anyways, let's get back on the road and I can tell you more about it. And this is exactly where I need your guys' help. I love the idea of overlanding, but I'm new to the world of overlanding, and I need your help. I need all of your recommendations for rooftop tents, for bed racks, chase rack, power solutions, everything in between. Please help me out with this build, because the next video I am going on a spending spree and getting everything that we need to do this. Also, if you're a company out there who wants to help me out, email me. This Overland build is actually the other reason I needed a new pickup truck, because this thing has a way higher payload than the Ford Raptor. Essentially, you can carry a lot more weight with it. So when we start filling the bed up with a load of tools and tires, the bed rack, the chase rack, a tent on the top, lights, and all of those accessories, all of those add a bunch of weight to these things, and this thing can handle all of it. I genuinely could not be more excited about this next build. I am so excited to get back into the world of customizing and building up vehicles. I can't wait to turn this thing into the ultimate Overlander. So hopefully that answers the question why I sold my Ford Raptor and why I bought an F150 Tremor. I think it is the ultimate truck for me, and I absolutely love it. In the next video, we're gonna be modifying this thing with our first round of upgrades. I can't wait for that. Subscribe if you wanna see it.